5,000 years. We were wrong about Stonehenge. For centuries, people believed these stones marked a grave. But the evidence now tells a different story. Because what stands here was never built for the dead. It was built for something far more important. What if I told you Stonehenge was never a tomb, never a temple, and never a place of worship? For more than 5,000 years, historians believed they understood it. They were wrong. Because recent archaeological evidence is revealing something far more unsettling. Stonehenge may have been a machine, not a mechanical machine, a human machine. And once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. Every year, thousands of people stand here at sunrise. They watch the sun rise perfectly between the stones. And they think the mystery is the construction. How did ancient humans move 25-ton rocks? Without metal tools. Without wheels. Without machines. But that question was the mistake. Because Stonehenge was never about moving stones. It was about moving people. 5,000 years ago, Britain was not one culture. It was tribes. Separated. Suspicious. Often violent. People rarely traveled far from where they were born. Yet archaeologists discovered something impossible. Human remains found near Stonehenge did not belong to locals. Many came from hundreds of kilometers away, some even from what is now Wales. Think about that. In a world with no roads, no maps, no transport animals, people walked for weeks just to reach this exact circle of stones. Why? Not for food, not for shelter, for a gathering. Stonehenge was a destination, but not just any destination, a synchronized destination. Scientists studying animal bones found at the site made another discovery. Large feasts happened here, massive ones. Thousands of pigs were brought from distant regions and slaughtered at the same time of year. Not random visits, not occasional ceremonies, scheduled arrivals. Stonehenge was operating on a timetable, and that timetable was written in the sky. The entire monument aligns precisely with the summer solstice sunrise and the winter solstice sunset. 2 days. Every year. No variation. No approximation. Exact. This was not decoration. This was coordination. Stonehenge was not a monument. It was a calendar powerful enough to unite tribes who never met each other. The sky was the clock. The stones were the signal. And the people were the moving parts. But the strangest part came from the burials. Because for centuries, researchers assumed Stonehenge was a cemetery. Yet the bodies found here were different. Most were cremated. Ashes carefully transported long distances. Families carried their dead across mountains and rivers. Not to bury them, to bring them to the same place. At the same time. This changes everything. Stonehenge was not about honoring death. It was about synchronizing memory. Imagine dozens of tribes arriving together under the same sunrise, standing in the same circle, sharing grief, sharing stories, sharing identity. For the first time, they were no longer separate tribes. They became one culture. Stonehenge was not stone technology. It was social technology. And suddenly the impossible construction makes sense. Moving giant stones was not the goal. It was the process. Each tribe helped. Each group contributed labor. And by building together, they trusted each other. Stonehenge forced cooperation. It created peace through effort. You don't fight the people you just built something with. The monument was not the achievement. Unity was. Stonehenge was humanity's earliest known large-scale social engineering project, a place designed to stop war. But there is another layer. One far deeper. Because the alignment is not only about the sun. Winter solstice sunset held special meaning for ancient people. Winter was death. Crops failed. Animals disappeared. Darkness lasted longest. Yet after the longest night, the sun returned. To them, this was resurrection. They believed the dead traveled with the sun, and Stonehenge became the crossing point. Not a burial ground, a transition ground, a place where the living gathered to guide the dead into the sky. The stones marked a pathway, not for for belief. Look again at the design. The outer circle, the inner horseshoe, the central altar stone. It creates a corridor, a line of sight, directly to the horizon. When the sun reaches its lowest point, it passes exactly through that corridor. Ancient humans were not primitive. They were observant. They tracked the sky for generations, and they encoded their understanding into architecture. Stonehenge is not random. It is calculated, not spiritually, but astronomically precise. They built a permanent event, a repeating moment in time, a cosmic appointment. So the real question is no longer, how did they build Stonehenge? The real question is, why did they need everyone to come to the same place on the same day? Because scattered tribes cannot form civilization. Shared experience creates identity. Stonehenge created a shared calendar, a shared ritual, a shared story. It turned strangers into a society. This is why no one lived there. It was never meant to be a city. It was meant to be a meeting point, a reset point. Once a year, humanity gathered, remembered, and realigned, just like the sun. 5,000 years later, we finally understand. Stonehenge was not built to last forever. It was built to repeat forever. A machine not made of gears, but of people. A machine powered by belief. And perhaps, the most important invention in human history was not the wheel, not writing, not metal. It was the moment humans realized, if enough people stand together at the same time, looking at the same sky, they stop being tribes. They become civilization.